It says loading, loading, loading. Fingers crossed. All right, I think we're good. Welcome. It's Friday afternoon, 11:46 a.m. Eastern Time here in Florida, and I am giving myself a time limit because when I live streamed on Monday or Tuesday, I worked for like 3.5 hours and it was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love just like being deep in the Excel, letting my brain just do its thing and figure out really cool advanced stuff. I was making an interactive Gantt chart, which turned out like it was amazing. But I have so many things on my to-do list that I have to get done today. So when my laptop battery dies, then my time is up. I'm not going to go downstairs right now and get my charger. This is very much on purpose. It says I have 78% remaining, which honestly could be like 3 hours, but I'm hoping to just do like an hour and to see what I tackle. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to be trying to create. I'm going to be trying to do, let's see. And welcome if you just joined me. Say hi in the chat. I can see there are people here, but I can't see your names or anything. Okay, so my friend John posted this on LinkedIn a few days ago, and he said he is looking for examples of data dashboards or tools that have a map of the world or at least a non-US map. Okay, so he's looking for non-US example. I'm going to make a US example. And another chart below that's linked. So when you click on a country in the map, a bar highlights and vice versa. And a bunch of people shared really good examples from like similar stuff, similar-ish. But then John said he was looking for something like this. Do you see the bars on the top and the map here? So I headed over. Well, let me open this one up again. I went over to this site and just to kind of see like the inspo, which again isn't exactly what John is looking for. And it's not exactly what I can create in Excel. But do you see the idea is like you click on Montana and then you see like Montana, right? Or it looks like I've got multiple selected here, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it's like, it's a little bit clickable. So I am going to grab this data and I already started. Even though this isn't exactly what we're building, my exercise for today, my brain exercise with this much Friday afternoon energy is just seeing what of this is possible in Excel. Excel probably can do something where when you click on a state, something else appears. I say probably because if there's anybody in the world who can do that, it's probably Carlos Barboza, or he would know who can do that. And it's probably with like VBA code behind the scenes. So it can't be exactly like this, but Excel could create a slicer or a drop-down menu off to the side where you click the state and then its bar is highlighted and then the spot on the map is highlighted. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think. I think. TBD. I'm thinking through a few elements at once, thinking through like just how the data is structured types of challenges, the viz design, which is like, who knows? This obviously isn't like a client project. It's just an exercise to keep my brain fresh. And what else am I thinking through? Just like the Excel challenges. So it's just a lot of challenges all at once. Again, with my Friday afternoon brain. Okay, here is the data that I can download. I believe I want to grab unemployment rates, and that is enough. Yes. Yes. I peeked at this the other day. I think that's what I downloaded the other day. And let's grab, is this a CSV? Of course it is, which is no problem whatsoever. And let's grab this and put it over here where I'm going to be working. And what do we need to do? Okay, let me make a bunch of notes. I don't think I can tackle all these in an hour or two. We'll see what I can do. I am going to make I think what I want to make, do I know yet? Um, it's gonna live in Excel, and I'm gonna have like a slicer over here. It's not going to be a drop-down menu. I don't know why I drew a filter for a drop-down menu. It'll be like, here's the state. You get to choose your state. And I don't know if it's going to be a slicer or a drop-down. And I say I don't know because they're both different. Slicer can do select one, select multiple, or select all, where a drop-down menu in Excel would be only select one. And these both have implications for then what the graph and map are going to look like. So TBD, like which one makes the most sense here of how I want people to be able to interact with this. This data set has data since 1976. We've got what, 49 years of data in here. And I feel like it would just be a lost opportunity to not show patterns over time. I would love to show patterns over time. So let's see. We would want to do like when you click on your state, like let's say this one's selected, you would have, I'm not going to do a column chart because they got too smushy. Look at the column. Where's the original column? They are here. They're just like too hard to read, right? And it looks like patterns over time and it's not. So I'm not going to do columns. We're going to do bars. And maybe like a bar chart here where it's like the state names, et cetera, et cetera. And here's like bars. And I think the bars should be maybe just the April 2025 most recent point. I think just the April 2025 number. TBD. And then what else is TBD? If it's going to be, it can be a regular bar chart or data bars. That's also TBD. And would they be sorted alphabetically or greatest to least? I don't know. So many TBDs. I don't know. Or greatest to least. I kind of want to do alphabetical to make it easier to find your own state? No, because the drop-down list would be alphabetical. So it should be sorted. It should be, let's do likely greatest to least. And probably everything grayed out, just your state selected. And then I need to show a national average, I think. Um, I say I think because I don't know if this data set has US, like a US average in it. We've got DC. Let's sort this to get rid of all the blanks. It's got headers. Let's sort by the location. Blanks are gone. Let's Excel table it. I think. Why not? Would that hurt anything? I don't think so. Welcome if you're here live. Say hi in the chat so I know you're here and I know who it is. Or if you're just watching and lurking, that's fine too. Let's see. Do we have US? Yes, we do. Okay. Because a rule of thumb in data is you're not supposed to average averages because it throws off like numerators and denominators and the proportions. I don't think 7.9 is an average of everything else. I don't think it should. I wouldn't think it would be. Let me just like delete this temporarily and see what this average is. I doubt it's 7.9. It is 7.1. Yeah, it's not an average of averages. There's other weighting and things taken into account. Okay, good. I'm glad this exists because I think it'd be really helpful to plot each state, but like compared to the US average, that would be a nice comparison. Would this be a vertical line on the line chart or its own bar? Vertical line, which I can make if it's a regular bar chart, or its own bar in dark, which I can do if I use data bars. I'm tempted to use data bars. Um, I might also add state icons here. Probably. I really love state icons. They're super fun. Maybe a bar chart, maybe a map over here. Is this redundant though? Bars and map? If I'm showing all of April 2025, I mean, that's what this is. It's just that the colors, they're all so blue. It's very hard to see the differences between the blue. So, and then these are colored to match the map, which I don't think I would do. I don't know, TBD on the colors. Yeah, do we need bars and a map? No. How do I draw the US? Like that? Yeah. Do we have Alaska, Hawaii territories? What do we have in here? We've got Alaska. How many? What's our end? Do we have 51, 52 entries? Why can't I highlight these? 52, because it's 50 plus US plus DC. No territories in here. Okay. Alaska and Hawaii will probably mean it'll show me a North America map instead of a contiguous states map. I wonder. We'll see. We'll see what Excel does. I think it's going to give me hi, Adrian G. Welcome. I think it's going to give me a North America map or including Canada map. Okay. And then what else do I want over here? Like somewhere on here, this isn't the right layout, but maybe a line chart since we have data since 1976. I feel yeah, like show maybe they go up and then down. Maybe some of them go down. I don't know, whatever. What would show on this map? It would be uh, maps, just probably just gonna be like a regular old heat map. That shouldn't be anything crazy to figure out. Line chart would probably be, would it be show everything in gray and just one state is dark? Or would it be just show one state at a time? Just one state plus US average? Probably this is a good level of detail. Showing everything in gray would mean a line chart with 52 lines. And to also add interactivity to that, let's see, because the lines are going to be almost certainly crisscrossy and zigzaggy. I mean, I'll show you. It would be this. Why can't I click on these cells? Excel's being weird. Okay, there it is. It would be one of these. Oh, it's not letting me do that. Oh, I know why. Okay. Because it can't go 255 over. Well, we'll find a workaround there. It's gonna be like, well, this is super boring because they look all flat, but they're not. Um, if I make them all gray, and let's pretend they're all gray, but then pretend this one's like the highlighted one, I know I can go to select data and I can reorder these. So whatever is on the bottom of the list is on the front of the chart. Like it's the opposite, right? It's like back of the list, bottom of the list, front of the chart, so that it's not crisscrossed through. I know I can do that manually, but I don't know if I can do that with a slicer or a drop down. Hence the point of this mental exercise that I'm making myself do because why not? Let's see. This is this is possible though, this last one. That's my vote for right now. I think that's enough context. You could also show the min and the max state, but would you show the min based on what? Based on what time frame? Based on April? Based on 1976? I'm just going to write this down. Would that be too much? A min, a max, a US average somewhere in the middle, the one state you have selected? I'm probably going to do a select one, I think. We'll see. TBD. I think I'm going to do just April 2025 in the bar chart. And I'm probably going to do data bars because they are, I think, going to be easier to control of what's shown and what's dark or light. Would I have them all show, or would I just show the bar or the state or the states you have selected? I don't know. What my brain is doing right now is figuring out the workflow, which is highly customizable because I need to go from the data set to some type of tabulation or summary table, which could be pivot tables. It could be some formulas, count ifs and sum ifs, lookups. It wouldn't be sums. It wouldn't be averages. It wouldn't be counts. It'd be lookups. Yeah, it would be like a V X or index match. Data set to tabulation to the charts, all of which are controlled by a slicer or dropdown. Okay, but then the exact workflow, there's just so many options in here. This is why I have to sketch them out. Okay. So the data set can't go directly into the line chart. Too many columns. Limit is 255. How many columns do we have? A bajillion. If I want to include from 1976, which I do. We have 593. We are well over the 225 limit. So that doesn't work. That's like broken. I can't go directly. I have to do some type of some type of table in the middle, TBD. And then if I want a map, it's like you can start at the left and say, I've got this, and like I'm going to do this analysis. What type of visual can I make at the end? Or being a data viz person, I usually start at the end. What type of visual do I want? And then I work backwards to see how I have to build that. So like if I want a map, I can't do a pivot table. I have to at least have a helper table. And so, then it's like the data set has to feed into that and that and that, which is no big deal. I've done this workaround 50 bajillion times. How do I get the slicers in there? Yeah, because the slicers, this is a big TBD. Pivot tables can go into slicers. Dropdowns can go into... Slicers have to be linked to an Excel table or pivot tables or pivot charts, but not all of them. So I can't have a slicer controlled to a pivot table and a Excel table at the same time. That's the part that's tricky for my brain. And again, it depends what I want to build. Like if this, is that going to be off a table? That's going to be filtered off the table because this data set can't go into the line chart. I can't go from Excel table, yeah, into the line chart. So if I want to build a line chart, which is my own challenge, I forced it myself, I have to do a helper table. Let's just get started. Okay. Enough talking. Turn off your brain, Anne. Just do. Just do. The brain has the answers. Let's pivot. Pivot tables and helper tables. Gotta stay organized so we don't lose our mind as we're talking to each other in front of people. uh, helper tables, pivot tables. We might have a few of these. If you just joined us live, hello, say hi in the chat. Let me know who's watching. I can see people are here, but I can't see who. Okay. Which one should I make first? A map or a line chart? Can I not do anything based on if I want to make a line chart, I have to do I can't do Excel slicers linked to a table. I can't because that we already know that doesn't work because of the 255 limit. Which one should we make first? Bar chart, map, line chart? Bar chart, map, line chart. These will focus on the most recent point in time. And then it's like, here's historical stuff just in case. Start broad, then go deeper. I wonder which these might flip orders. We'll see. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. We'll decide. Start broad, then go deeper is the idea. Let's do oh, see, here's the thing though. I can't, no. This is a wide data set, not a long data set. So I can't do patterns over time based on the pivot table. But I can't do, I can only show the most recent point. I don't want this line chart though, because I want to be able to color code it. I think I want to have everything gray and then just the bar you've selected is dark. And that can go off a pivot table. That can also go off the Excel table. Okay, this is why I have to write this down. Pivot table or Excel table. And let's do data bars. I don't know yet. I'm going to make one at a time dark. There's some helper formula behind there. Again, that's the point of this exercise is to figure out things like that. When it's low stakes, when it's like Friday just for fun, not when it's like, oh, I have a client deadline I'm working towards and I'm panicking. Because this is great. This is low stakes for fun exercise to keep me sharp. Okay, the map can go from, that can be from the pivot table or the Excel table. And then the line chart, I think, can only be from the Excel table. No, because the Excel table said it couldn't. It can't do it because it's too wide. I feel like I made this work though the other day. I had a chart similar to this. No, it can. It can. Line chart from Excel table. Otherwise, I have to change it from wide to long, and I don't have time to do that. And I don't think I need to. Insert a, okay, so we're not going to do pivot tables here. Again, it depends where the slicer is. Okay, let's just try things. We're going to hit a wall though at some point. Insert a line chart. It doesn't like having that many columns. Can we trick it into doing, I don't know, that many columns and then manually add the rest? I think. Because when we switch row column, we're going to be okay. Isn't this just crazy looking? Select data. I've got all the states. And do I have to edit these one at a time? No, 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 no. Let's not do that. Um, how do I add more series? Mhm. Let's just get the bones of this all filled in. Yeah, we'd freeze the slicer, wouldn't we? Yeah, because yeah, we'd freeze the slicer. Okay. Mhm. Hi, Kate, welcome. If you're just joining, say hi in the chat. I can see people are here, but I can't see who. Adrian and Kate might still be here, or they might have dropped off. Okay, let's see. Where were we? We've got the ugly line chart, but I'm gonna try to drag the data source to fill in more. Actually, we may have to put it back here. Trying to trick it into having more than 255 columns. Here's what I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to see what error message I get. Okay. So far, so good. Oops. Let's keep going. Can we trick it some more? I think we're good. Okay, so far, so good. What are we up to? 94? Let's keep tricking it and make it include more than 255 columns. Sorry, Excel, you're getting fooled today. I always tell people if you have historical data, include it. It makes a truer, more unbiased story. So I am just practicing practicing what I preach here, giving people the full picture. We can focus on April 2025 in a bar chart and a map, but I think it's really, really awesome. Look at that. Isn't that so helpful to know? What is that? Nevada in 2020. Wow. Because nobody was going to Las Vegas? I don't know. I mean, that's my first guess, right? What's this? 2005. Oh, Katrina. That was Hurricane Katrina, wasn't it? What's over here? Was that stock market issues in the early 80s? I don't know. I was born in 85. I have no idea what was going on in 83. Um, what's over here? What is this? Housing market crash? Oh seven, oh eight, oh nine. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I have this much context. Let's put this over here, but I still want to make it, it's either going to be, I think it's going to be one state at a time plus US plus maybe the min and max TBD. It's not going to be a spaghetti line chart, but we have to control that somehow with a slicer or drop down. Um, let's try our map. Can the map be done? The map cannot be directly on, I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm picturing in my mind. If we insert a slicer, oh no, that's a regular chart. It can't have a slicer. This is an Excel table that can have a slicer. And if we slice and dice by geography, why is it thinking? It shouldn't take this long. I mean, I do have 500 columns. There you are, hiding up top. Why would Excel put that up there? Okay, let's see. Okay, so like technically this works, right? I select Alabama, it shows up here. I select Alaska, it shows up there. But I think I do always want to have the US included and not make somebody have to click two of them. Like I want US to not be there. So I think I can't and I don't want them to accidentally pick all these because then it's like terrible. They might accidentally get a spaghetti line chart. I think one state versus the national average, honestly, I kind of think is enough. If I put this here, let's just try it with a slicer. I can build a drop-down menu. Okay, I think, okay, see how Alaska is selected and the US are selected? That filters the data set. Look, all that's showing up in the data set is just those two. Which means if I try to build a bar chart off that data set, it's only going to be a 2-bar chart, which is really boring. I want it to have 52 bars. Yeah, 50 states, DC, US. I wanted to have 52 bars with just one or two dark at a time. So I can't slice off the table because that would hide. Yeah, I guess I could make a copy of the table. Never done that. Have two data sets that are identical. That feels really clunky though, to add new data to in the future. To be like, oh, don't forget to add the new data to both clunky, yucky tables behind the scenes. That doesn't feel as smooth as it should be. Okay, so I'm leaning towards a drop-down menu. Yep. Okay. Let's just put the bar charts here. I don't, I can't have, I can't have 52. I could have like 26 and 26. I think I'm going to build this with data bars anyway, instead of regular bars. Those should be easy. Ha ha ha. Famous last words. Let's see if I have the states there. And I'm going to put their icon off to the side. And then I would have their April value there. Yeah, I can have two columns. That should be fine. Let's look that up in here. And let's just show the most recent point here. And I don't think there's any blank data. There's no empties to deal with. Okay. I should turn these into percents though, shouldn't I? Percent divided by 100. Is that right? With a decimal? Where's 26 of these? These will go in the next column. Cut them, put them over. Why is it not clicking? It's like not scrolling. There we go. Insert, cut cells, shift them down, 26, 26. Okay. And then it's where work. Why is this not working? Well, I'm clicking on stuff. It's not, my mouse is here and it's picking up there. Okay. Now it's working. It was frozen or something. Let's see. Data bars here. How am I going to make them colored just based on if the state's selected? I don't know. What is our min and our max here? Do I know? 1.8 to 5.8. Okay. So let's make these all go to 6. Was I going to sort this alphabetically though, or greatest to least? Wasn't I going to do a greatest to least? Yeah, I want to do it greatest to least. What's 6.6? No. 6. Is it 6? No. Is it 60? What's going on here? Why can't my brain figure out decimals and percentages like that? No. 0.06. Duh, Anne. 0.06 is I forgot the math. 0.06, 6%. Okay, great. 5.8, a little bit further is 6. Is that because of the federal workers? Must be. This should be sorted. Yeah, these are too messy alphabetically. I feel like they should be sorted, which means this has to be from a pivot table or a helper. I want it to be clickable. Okay. I mean, let's just try a couple different ways and we'll see what hiccup we run into. So if I pull April into here, I mean that's what I have, sort of. Um, should I put helpers over here? Yes. So then that could be clickable. This could be, this will sort then. Dollar, 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 dollar. Um, oh, it shouldn't go upside down though. It should go the other way. It doesn't need to be flipped because I'm not doing a regular bar chart. I am doing data bars. It feels clunky to have that hard coded. Um, you slice off this. This should not be sliced because we want all the states to show up. What would we want though? They're like all gray and just your state appears when you select it. What did I decide over here on the design? I don't know if I got that far. I just said heat map. I think I want them all gray. Three charts, three challenges. All like I know how to do each of these individually, but the solutions for each of the three to figure what is the one solution that can be forced to work for all three solutions, all three vises. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing here, right? Show everything in gray, just one state is dark. Is that not helpful though? Because then you don't see your state in context. You wouldn't see your state in context. There's nothing to compare it to. You're just seeing where your state is if it's dark, but like you know where your state is. You don't need to know like where Florida is on the map. You need to see how dark Florida is. So it's not grayed. It's not grayed. It's a regular map. That means that's not filtered. Could you somehow make the border around your state appear when you select it? I mean, that could take a, that's a whole multi-hour thing to figure out. But that'd be so cool to figure out. Mhm. Should we just add like the regular charts for now so you can kind of see how this is coming together? Yeah, let's just add the regular charts and then I'll figure out the linkages behind the scenes. I'll have to like sleep on this, try it again next week. Okay, the map, the map, the map. What are we doing with the map? Do we want to, we can't make maps off pivot tables because look what happens. Excel gets mad at us. Insert a map. And then it says, no, you can't do it. So that's why we have the helper table here. And we can do a map off the helper. Loading, loading, loading. This is not all grayed out though. It's all like colored. It goes from the min to the max, which makes sense. And this is, nothing's filtering this. I think that's okay. Let's do a purple, a green, and a purple, excuse me, blue. We'll do a blue map. And then a green line chart. Yeah. Format data series, series color. Blue maps are so pretty too. Let's do blue, light brand blue up to dark, dark, dark brand blue. Dark, dark, dark kind of looks ugly. Does it? No, it's okay. Should we do a tiny bit of formatting? Sure. Let's get rid of the outline. Let's get some bigger font. Let's get some darker font. What shouldn't this be percentages? Yeah. I hate when it's 5.8 and then you're like, is that 5.8 people? Is that 5.8%? No, this should be percents. This should be, these are percents. So that is divided by 100 with a decimal. And what do we want that to say? Unemployment rate? I mean, it should just, yeah, it should say that, right? It should just say the most plainest possible thing. Is this redundant because the everything is about unemployment rates? Yeah. Yeah. We don't need to overly label things, do we? I think that's every single chart here is about unemployment rate. Oh, I don't want series to show up. I want it to be empty. Can I do a space bar? Trick Excel? I think I can. Did a space bar. Yes, now it's like empty. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Excel. Um, that is like half done. It's just not interactive. These aren't interactive. These aren't sorted. Should we sort these first? And that is only going to move in the sense of the color is going to move, I think. Yeah, because I think I do want to have all 52 bars displayed. Or would I just want to have one or two bars? No, all 52, all 52 bars. Okay. Um, can I copy paste this? I feel like it's not going to be this simple because of the way the formulas are. Because what broke there? Oh, did I not have the dollars in the right spot? Should we just direct link that? Feels really like cheating. No, I can't direct link that. No, I'm just gonna look up that in, I just don't need a helper table over here. How much laptop battery do I have? Half? What are the second set of 26? 3.9. Oh, these look like tied. Do I have to do 2 decimals? I mean, it doesn't hurt. Is that more fair so you can see some of them that are like more tied? Or is it too many details? It's probably too many details. That's gonna have a space. Should we add in some icons because they're so cute? Icons. Where do I have my icon cheat sheet? Dashboards, interactive dashboards, state dashboards. Um, let's do. Look up the state, give me the icon. Let's do that. Look up the state. Ooh, I don't think I have a DC. I don't know. Do we have a DC icon in here? Yeah, we do. We do. We just don't have territories. And give me the letter. And it couldn't find District of Columbia because do I not have it? I could have sworn there was a DC. There's not. And then this one's called United States. Don't have a DC. I can make a DC. Do I have to enter more helper data? Let's see. Come on, Excel. No. Data geography. Great. And what color is DC? What color are we going to do? Medium gray? Format data series, series color. Let's make the icons. That gray is usually too light when it's small. Medium? Medium? Delete. Delete. Make it square. Copy. Make it a picture. Oops, I forgot to get rid of the border. My bad. Let's see. Copy, paste picture, paste the picture right here, put it in the cell, state face the rest in the same medium gray. That's good enough. Is that too big compared to these? Yeah. Problem for another day. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'll just make the rest bigger. They can just be like size 12 and then they all match. Is that a little bit better? Okay. Narrower. This is going to be what, like two wide? So that can be a 2 wide. And these can be a little, and those can be a little, and that can be that. And once you turn off the grids, can you see it or do you need gray outlines? Excuse me, gray underlines. You need gray underlines. How do I gray out everything and highlight one data bar at a time? I don't know. Ew, they're black. Ew, 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 ew. No. Can I format painter this? I should be able to. Great. Whoops. Okay. How do I make everything gray except the state that is selected? No, those are all zeros. Why did I add another? Okay. Um, hmm. It's a linked conditional formatting, right? If I make all these gray, how do I make just one that is selected via a slicer or drop down dark? It would have to be a linked conditional formatting. Okay, I'll figure that out. That can be figured out. It is figure outable. Bar chart, time frame, data bars, sorted greatest to least. This one's TBD. National average, vertical line, or a bar on the chart. If I do data bars, it can't be a line, but is it on the chart? Where is the US average? Right here. This one needs to always be dark, I think. I think. Um, Autosave, what's going on? This could also have a subtitle. Something like subtitle would go up here though. Title, the subtitle, when just like normal, be something like these. No, it wouldn't be normal. It would be a heading 2. It would be like something about worst unemployment, but then you can't have best unemployment. They're both terrible. Highest unemployment, lowest unemployment. Is it like that? But it's like 3.8 is not great. And then 3.8 is just, I don't know. Um, highest, lowest. Insert some icons. Arrows up, arrows down. It's not check X or X check. It's not plus minus. I think it's arrows. I think it's arrows. Arrow going. Where's my circle arrow? Where are you? Why am I not seeing you? Not that one. This one. What color are we doing these? Is this the purple section? I don't want these two different colors because this section versus this section is going to be two different colors. So let's do all brand color 1, brand purple in this case. And And that one is going to rotate 90. And then that one is going to rotate again. Or a flippy. Can we do a flippy? Put it in the cell. Put it in the cell. Something like that. Align it top, middle, middle. What was it aligned by? Down. Yeah, middle. So it's in line with these. That would be a purple, whatever. Something about April 2025. It's something about that. Grayed out, one at a time dark. Um, is it super weird though to have an alphabetized list and then right next to it is a non-alphabetized list? I mean, kind of, right? I don't love that. Um, what are we trying to do with the map? This is a blue map. And something needs to be interactive here, I think. Like if you click on California, maybe California gets an outline. I don't know how that's possible. Anything is possible in Excel, but I don't know how. Um, okay, and then what are we doing over here? This should not show all the lines. It should just show state, US average, maybe a min and a max. Probably just state and US average. Let's do that. So it's easy. Easy, easy. Okay, it is larger, it is darker. This needs to be cleaned up. We want to show the intervals every, ew, what is it right now? Is it every 12 months? Do we do every 10 years? So every 120 months? Do we do every 5 years? So every 60 months? How do I get rid of the January and the first, the 1/1, and just show the year? Where is this pulled from? Did I pull this from the actual data set? I did. It's pulled from the data set. It has to be because it literally has every single cell. Every single cell is here. Um, but how do I make it filterable? Before I make helper cells here to clean these up, I have to decide what I'm going to filter. I don't know. This is a just for fun project. Usually I have creative restraints, like it has to be blah, 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 based on the client project. And this is a just for fun project. So who knows? This is going to be a green map. And the subtitle is going to be something about it's going to be something about that. Something about the actual details. Um, how much battery do I have left? I have half, 49%. However, I must do 6 more recordings, 5 more recordings for an online course. Well, really 3. If I did 3, I would finish up a module. Yeah, which I probably could do It's if, nested if, and a workaround with lookup. I'm doing a recoding module. Those are longer ones. Those aren't 5-minute videos. Those are like 10-minute videos, probably 2 hours to record those just in case. How much more fun time am I gonna give my brain? Let's see. This should show percents, not numbers. Do we want the scale to go all the way up? I mean, probably, but then that stands out like so much. Are we gonna recolor all of these to, are we gonna are we gonna break the computer if we do this? What am I gonna link? How am I gonna link this to make it interactive? Am I gonna use a slicer or a dropdown? I think I want to do a dropdown. I think I want to do a dropdown. I already have my list of states here, sort of. How does it show Washington, D.C. here? Oh, District of Columbia. My bad. That needs to match. District of Columbia. Doesn't get an icon. That doesn't matter. Um, is this gonna be my, do people call it District of Columbia? I thought we call it Washington, D.C., because that's the city and D.C. is the state. The state district, Washington District of Columbia. That's the state, I guess. Yeah. Okay. No, that's right. Um, think I want to do a drop down instead of a slicer. How do I make sure people see this? I don't know. It's gonna be highlighter yellow for now. People aren't gonna see this. Oh, why is that pulling in? That's not right. That's not right. This feels like old school, Anne. I used to do drop downs this way. People aren't going to see that. Okay, let's say if I have Florida selected, I want this Florida to, I want that to affect all these, where everything should be grayed out and just Florida is dark, which I will figure out. There's some level of helper cells here. That, how does that adjust the map to maybe add an outline? Another hackathino thing. What part can I figure out? I can, I can link that to a chart. That should be easy. Easier. Um, okay, let's link that over here. Okay, so to link that over here, what are we doing? We are making This is pulling in from the data set itself right now, and it's not going to pull in from the data set. It's going to pull in from a helper table. So these are for the data bars. This is for the map. And then this is going to be for line chart. And yeah, I know how to do this. I think. I think. Let's make the month that way, and we will make the selected state, we'll just do columns because, or rows. Who wants to scroll 250 billion columns? Nobody. And then United States. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So the selected state is literally a direct link, whatever's selected in the drop down here. Okay. And then the months are these. Copy, paste special, transpose, format painter down somehow. How do I select all these to format painter them? I don't know. How many down is it? A bajillion. And do I want to go down? Now I've got H. I'm going to exit. I'm going to X lookup it. X lookup. It is looking up this lock, and it's looking it up over. Can I do that? No, I'm index matching it. I'm index matching it. Oh, I hate index match. Why don't I just make my columns go across? That would save all that I wouldn't have to worry about this. Let's just not transpose it. Just because I don't like scrolling left and right, who cares? Tough luck, Anne. Scroll. Scrolling is better than index matching on a Friday. Can I do a now I can just do it. V or X. Do I need to un-Excel table this? Look up Florida. Lock. It's calling me. No, we're good. Okay. Look up Florida in data set. Florida is in this column. And when I find Florida, tell me the this one. But that one should not be locked. So I'm going to untable it. I thought I might need to do that at some point. Table design, convert to range, farewell for a moment. Now that can be state is locked, but B is not. It's mixed, a mixed reference. And then that should be a percent. Because then the chart will be a percent. Is this correct? Florida 9.6. Spot check, spot check. Florida, where are you? Why can't my computer doesn't want to scroll today. My mouse doesn't have batteries. It's plugged in. Why is it not scrolling? Florida 9.6. All right, we're good. US 7.9. Is that true? 7.9. Good. Copy. Can I just highlight? I just want to go down. I don't want to drag. Copy. I don't want to go to infinity. I want to go to What's my keyboard shortcuts? If we're having a practice session, we might as well have a practice session, right? And learn all the shortcuts. Copy, not Control Shift arrow to infinity or XFD. Copy that far. Lift up my pinky, just hold down Shift. I somehow need to unselect the top row. How do I unselect my top row now? Nope. That is not going to work. Okay. You know what? In that time, I could have just dragged it across. It could have just been done by now. That's always a careful trade-off in Excel. That's why I always like things going this way. Okay, we're done. This is going to go into the line chart. So we're going to say goodbye to that spaghetti. How far should we make the scale? Should we make it all 0 to 35? I think so. And I'm going to put it, what are we putting in the graph? All of it. Ooh, guess what? That's the month, but guess where the graph, this is where I'm going to fix the graph labels. Okay. I'm going to do month, year. Yeah, I'm going to make graph labels here on the helper table. If I have to make a helper table anyway, why not do it now? Month, year. I want that. Let's see. Graph labels. So this one is going to have the full year. Whoops. And then the rest are going to have the year, the single quote year, this like that year, but only every 5 years. 10 years feels too sparse. 5 years feels good on this time frame. So it's like if the month equals 1, then show me the year. Otherwise, leave it empty. Those are empty. But I don't want the whole, but that should not be empty. That should be filled in. Oh, I didn't drag the formula that far. Where did I drag the formula to? I didn't drag this one. Okay. That should be filled in, but I don't want the 4-digit year. I want the right. Can I write a year? Never done that. I can write a year. Yes. Okay. And then I want this one. I want, if it's 1, then do what is this called? Apostrophe? Single quote? I don't know. Quote, double quotes, single quote, double quote, and the right 2 digits of the year. That's what I want. Drag, oops, let me drag all these. Here is my 77, just perfect. So who's going to do all these by hand? Not me. Not me. Ew, I hate dragging this far across. This feels so unnecessary. Okay. So what are we putting into our graph? We are putting the, let me just reorder these. That's the easiest way. Okay, let's put this into the graph. Is it going to work? Is it going to recognize this as patterns over time now that I've gotten rid of all the entries here? Yes. And then this is only going to show up every 5 years. So therefore every 60 months. Is that right? What's the last point of the graph? 2021? Don't you feel like we should show like a little bit more? We should show a little bit more, shouldn't we? Every depends how big this graph's going to be, right? Font size 11 at least. This. This needs to go to what? What do we say? 35 is the tallest possible because of Nevada. And have let's not have decimals because ew, not there. And are we going to label this? What's US going to be? Like, right? And the state should always go on the front. Therefore, the bottom of the chart. Where'd my chart go? Where'd I put you? Aren't you over here someplace? There you are. Um, Not that. I really don't want to have a legend here. Should I just put these here? Is that the placement? Or do people lose the line chart? Are they going to not see it? People are either people, as if people are seeing this. I'm the audience. For my own mental sharpness, I am the audience. People aren't going to see this, but Anne sees this. Oh, let me show you how this works. Cross your fingers. If you select Hawaii, then Hawaii here fills in to my table there, which which fills into my lookups there, which feed into my chart there in the dark color. Oh, we're not doing purple though. We're going to do green. We're going to have a green map. Let's do a dark green instead of a bright green. Okay. I don't want to have a legend though. That's like a no-no for color blindness. But if I add direct labels on the right side out here, I'd have to do it for all 52 of them, which is like terrible. So technically, this is colorblind safe because we're using dark light, we're using saturation, not two different hues. Like this would not work. Look at this one. Two hues. Nope, they don't work. That doesn't work. Here, let me show you what it could look like. It would be like, let me turn it into grayscale, give you a simulation. It's just garbage. See? Okay, it doesn't work. Two hues don't work, but two saturations do. Two saturations are going to be big A accessible. This one, oops, oops, oops. I should have graded out first. My computer is like just really not scrolling well. Hawaii is the star of the show. Why can't I click on there? There we go. And then this one is not the star of the show. It's the sidekick. Sidekick is still visible in grayscale. Like, see, isn't that better? That one compared to, see, that one's unreadable. That one's not. So technically we're okay with a separate legend here. Maybe I'll put the legend up at the top so people see it better. And would I want to label some points? If I add like a percent label, like maybe at the beginning or the end or something, well, the end is redundant. The end doesn't need it because these are the endpoints over here. Why is this one not working? Wyoming. Why is Wyoming not working? Do I not have it? On here? Is this an NA error? Yeah, which means it's not finding Wyoming. But why is it not? It's looking up Wyoming in C2 to CO53. Okay, easy fix. Has to go to 53. That one also has to go to 53. Sorry, Wyoming. Didn't mean to leave you out. No, you fit. Okay, that's better. Okay. What have we solved so far? How long have I been working on this? It looks like, how long? When did I start this? I don't know. 11:45? We're an hour and a half in. Am I satisfied? Hmm. I mean, no, because I didn't solve anything I wanted to solve yet. We're not there yet. Maybe these shouldn't be two different colors because they're the same thing. It's all April. Ooh, you could make like a one pager. This could be, or a two pager. This could be a PDF. People love PDFs. They really do. Not everything has to be Excel. Print area. What if this was going to be a PDF? Is it more portrait or more landscape? These two would need to be on the same page because they're about April. And this one would go on the back because it's historical. Instead of selecting the state there, you would have it there. And that would be the title. Ooh, yeah. This is my pretend scenario. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's make a one pager or a two pager. Yes. Would this be portrait or landscape? Well, these can't fit landscape, can they? Technically, this is the level of detail that you'd want to go on a back page, though. But because these are both about April 2025, they need to be on the same page. Okay, it doesn't fit landscape. It's too tall. I mean, you can make these smaller, like that, kind of, but then they're like disgustingly unreadable. So it's why bother? I mean, you can get rid of like a couple spaces like this. Can it possibly be landscape? Um, I mean, that now fits. This should go on the same page as that. So it has to be portrait. And this is higher level, an overview more than this. So that's going to go first. Yeah, let's make a PDF. I get to decide. um, it's my Friday afternoon challenge. This is more high level than this. See how that just would fit? Okay, and now I can show state abbreviations here instead of full state names to save some space. I can also make these a little bit narrower. What are they right now? 14 pixels. Let's make a 10 and a 10. And then they fit. And then this is going up here. Oh, this is such a fun activity now. Okay, like that. What else is going to go on the second page? Not that. That looks terrible. Oh, I have space left over. I mean, what am I going to put there? I don't know. What do I want? I know I need a space here now. I don't want that to be so smushy. I still want to be able to like gray all these out. Does this really fit? How big would this be? It would have to be like, does it really fit? Um, this is really like appendix level detail. That should really go on the second page, don't you think? Let's just try it, but it's the same as the map. So maybe we add another column. Maybe we show um, March and April or something. I don't know. That's starting to get redundant with the line chart, though. You can't figure out all the Excel workarounds you need until you decide on the design you want. They go together. What would you put down here? Contact us, logo, data source, details. This would be easily eaten up. But that's still, I want to gray everything out and highlight one state at a time. How do I do that? That might be a problem for another day. Is this a good stopping point? Probably. I don't know what else would go up here. This needs a title. This needs more height. Title TBD. I'm not loving this blue. Doesn't it look washed out? Let's try one up. That's blue map, then that's a brand blue heading. That is a clear background. The map needs more space. The line chart doesn't. This needs more height. There, that's better. Fills the page better. Um, nope. Nope. I still want to make it interactive though. That's what I set out to do, and I didn't solve that yet. Or if it's not interactive, or like a series of matching one pagers or two pagers or whatever we have, where you get to make one template and then you can fill all 52 in. Not 52, because not the US, 51. Um, is DC even on here? I don't know. Well, I set out to make something interactive though, didn't I? So maybe this idea of like a two pager doesn't make any sense. This is the only thing that moves. Okay. Okay. For another optional work session, because I'm crazy, I'm almost out of battery too, so I almost like have to stop soon. What would we do with the map? We would make the selected state outlined in a like thick navy outline, which you can do manually, I think, to one state at a time, but it can't be manual. It needs to be that needs to happen dynamically. That needs to happen based on whatever you have selected here. Is this possible? Oh, Adrian, good job. I see your comment in the chat. Nice little Friday co-working. This is just basics. Mapping formula. There's a mapping formula? No, that's not true. Um, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. What does Layla have here? I just want to see the overview. That's not what I want. I mean, that's cool, but that's not what I want. I think it's all this like little icony map. Uh, no, that's different. I want outlines. Cells, borders around cells. What are contour lines? What does that lingo mean? This is basically exactly what I want. Okay. Uh, what do I want to do down here? This one's good. That's exactly what I wanted. What do I want to do down here in all my spare time? Ha 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 ha. Still gray out all the bars. Just the selected state is dark. Should I try that for 10 minutes and then stop? So I can do my recordings I need to from 2 to 5. Let's try that. Okay. So let's gray all these out. And let's make a helper cell. Where's our helper? Let's just put it right here. We can move these later. Helper cells. So I want that state. And this is the value. It's a 2-column table. I can't look it up here. I will look it up over. Oh, you know what? I don't even need to write a formula. I can just do a link. I already did a formula for this. It's that one. And if it's that state name, that one should be dark. If like this thing and this thing are equal, then this should be dark. This is all one set of conditional formatting. Do I have to somehow make two? Is that what I want? Is that the logic? If these are equal, then that's dark? I don't know. Let's do a practice. What if I mess up what I have? Does it matter? Um, let's select DC, because it's at the top of the list. Okay. So, do I need to do a new rule that if this equals this, but this one is not locked? Either is that. Why can't I click on this? C46, if it's equal to that, then do what? Then do we're not filling, we're making a data bar. We are, let me just make it bright yellow just to see if that even works. Okay. And if, I mean, it's kind of outlined now. So it's like, where's Arizona? Did that one not work? Arizona. That one didn't work. Oh, because I didn't fill this down. That's an outline, sort of. That's not exactly what I want, though. Um, this and this and this should be dark as well. Well, not the icon, because that one's not a letter. That's a picture. So the name should be dark. Okay, that part I can do. Yes. So if C46 is equal to that selection, then make it bold and colored. Bold and colored. Not Aptos. Oh no, it should be my brand. Okay. And that needs a little more breathing room now. And then this and this should be colored. And US probably should always be colored, probably. Yeah, I think those are the most important if I had to pick, I think. How's your state doing compared to the rest? Right? Yeah. I kind of hate that these are in two columns. This conditional formatting needs to also apply to column D. Clause 2. Why did that get messed up? But, oh, this is how I can do the data bars. It's the same formula. Yeah? Okay. And I don't think I do dollar signs here. D46, D46. Why is that not? because the C has to be locked. Yes. Okay. Where's Florida? Okay. Oh, I didn't apply the conditional formatting on this side. Can I copy or format painter that over here? No. Let's do Nevada. That is not right. That's not right. I have to do another set of conditional formatting. I have to do the same thing over here because these are like two batches. They're just going to match. Use a formula equals $H46 equals that dollar. Bold and branded. And that needs to apply to, ew, why did that happen? H46. Is this where I have the dollars? No. I 46. I think I have to take the dollars out here. Oh, I have the dollars. Okay. Let's select another one from this side. Yes. Okay. We have the words and the percents. How do we make the R colored? What if they're all gray and I put a purple one on top of it? Is that possible? And then I make sure it's at the top of the hierarchy. Let's try it. Oops, not delete, duplicate. But this one needs to have a formula. Can I not do formulas and data bars together? Um, ooh, maybe it's these. They're all purple, but if it's purple, it stops? No. I want a formula with a data bar. Based on another cell? Based on a formula? Maybe I can't do a formula. Maybe I can only do it based on another cell, but the other cell would have the formula. No, that's like duh. That's data bars 101. We want, okay, I can have bars there based on their values. I can't have bars there. I can only have formats, 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 formats. Okay. So something here. I would not be adjusting the min and the max. Let me just put like purple ones on top for a second. Um, that's positive and negative. That's like no duh. Those are not data bars. Sort of like that. Sort of like that. Yeah. Multicolored data bars. That's the search term I needed. Format, but these are all the same. Not based on the percentage. Like, duh. What are we coloring them on? Late versus on time? That's a heat map. That's different. So we're doing a new rule with a formula based on what are we writing here? If that status says late, then and get rid of the dollars there. Yeah. So it's relative. We're going to fill them with a gradient. Are we sure? No. That says on time. No, we don't want fill. That's just a gradient fill. No, no, no. No, that's different. Okay. Cute, sort of, but also terrible to read. Where I thought we were doing data bars. Okay. Oh, I'm watching this with no sound on. I'm just watching the guy's mouse. I don't need to hear him talk. Just so if you're watching me, you know you're not missing anything. Okay, so he filled them and then he data barred them, but he data barred them that way. He filled them and put a white data bar on top of them to make them not look filled. Okay, that is actually a really creative work. That is so interesting. Okay, this is fill, heat table fill, and that is data bar filling from the left. Oh my gosh, that is so clever. Okay, take back anything bad I said about the creator. So, what if we fill all of these? They're all, let's just try it on this side. Let's clear those. They're all gray. Do they even need to have percents in them? I don't think so. And they would all be, what color outline? Or would they, gray gets so plain, doesn't it? Would they all be like light purple? Like that? And just the one we're looking at would be like a dark purple? Um, we can change that anytime. Okay. And then this is going to be filled. Well, let's do more rules. We're going to use a formula. So that, oops, don't click on it, Anne. So then it adds all the dollars. Uh, dollar See? Actually, we can add the dollars there. If that equals that, then we're going to fill it in dark. So let's choose, I don't know, Michigan. That's colored. Why is that not? Um, E46 through E71 because I locked it because I wasn't supposed to have the dollar signs. My bad. When will I run out of laptop? This is why it's not plugged in because I have been saying I'm going to only work on this for 10 more minutes for a bajillion minutes. C46. If C46 is equal to that, then it's going to be colored in purple. I'm going to put data bars on top of that for the opposite amount. Oh my gosh, what an interesting one. This is super easy. Super not easy. Super interesting. It's gonna have a little bit of an outline look though. Um, we're gonna add data bars. The data bars don't know what to add because they need a value. Okay, but the data bars are going to be just show the bar, and the bars are going to be white, and they're going to go right to left, and they're going to be start at 0, and they're going to go over to um, difference. Does this work? Holy crap, that is so fascinating. Is that right though? Is that right? That's not colored in 5 point. Oh, because I made it go over to 1. Okay. Um, starts at 0 and it goes over to, doesn't it start at point 10? What, 10? Is that right? Why can't I understand decimal places? What were our values? Over to point 6. Over to point 6. Okay. What are we gonna do with the outlines? I don't know. Point 6. What's the biggest value? 5.8. Stretch it over to point 6. Um, why can't I understand this correctly? That is showing 5.8. That should show, oh, because I'm showing point 0.6 minus 5.8. What math do I want? I want, um, the whole thing should go from 0% to 6%. How is that not right? So it's filling in that much, therefore that much is remaining. This one's right. Did I just not fill it down? Is that not right? I am going to make the formulas sit in E. Okay. the max, let's just make it 0.6. No, I don't know. Um, These going left to right to left is breaking my brain. Okay. Reverse coded, the reverse colored. That's hurting my brain. This should go from 0.6. Okay. Six. Okay. That's the bar in the right spot. But I want it to not show that much. It needs to show the minus. It's 6 minus that. 6 minus 5.8. Where did you go? Oh, because I did my math wrong. 58. No, I just want it to be, is that right? Oh, it's because it's locked. Oh, minus E46 or D. Doesn't matter. Let's do F D. E46. You can't use relative references, but I want to, but yes, I can. Um, it has to be absolute. Do I have to do it? Can I just do this one? This is not right. I hate to be stuck on something so stupid. Oh well, we'll come back to it. All right, I have been working on this for what? Almost 2 hours? Is that right? No, I started at 11:45. Over 2 hours? Is that right? 2 hours, 20 minutes? I always say I'm not going to. What did I try to do? I was trying to make something like this gobbledygook. I was trying to make some version of it like an interactive map where you could select your state and then the bars might appear or not, or be colored or not. The map might have outlines or not. The line charts might show or not. I was thinking of something that could be clickable, but let's be honest. I work in the PDF world. Many groups I work with, they're like, we're not going to open Excel to do this. Like, give us a PDF, give us a PDF. Our leaders want PDFs. They're super busy. Like, give us something to print in front of them. So probably halfway through, I was like, let's just make this PDFable. And I do have a map. The borders are not interactive. That can likely be done. Anything's possible in Excel. I don't know how. So that's like on the to-do list. And then the line chart, once it has a title and like some takeaway sentences, that's fine. I'm good with that. Like that's super like easy. And then the state by state details, yeah, that needs a title, that needs a takeaway sentence. And this part is dynamic. No, not dynamic. This part changes not by hand, I should say. Whatever you have selected up here in the title does show up bold and bold and colored, but the data bars do not because I can't figure out the stupid math because I've been staring at this too long. Oh my gosh. I just figured out the stupid math. Oh my gosh. This is the value of like putting something away, switching tasks, and then you figure it out. My task I was trying to switch to was like, here's a summary of how I spent my past couple hours. Okay, this works. Can I copy paste? Um, does this work? No. That's not 3.9% of the way colored in. No, this doesn't work. Shoot. I'll come back to it. Maybe next Monday, maybe next Tuesday, maybe a year, maybe never. We'll see. All right. I think that's like pretty decently far to get though. Um, yeah. I almost learned some really cool stuff about data bars. I knew this. I didn't solve that. I had fun thinking about page layout considerations too. That's always a good mental challenge. All right, now off to finish recording my course modules. I'm going to record a module on recoding variables for a data cleaning class that I'm doing. So we're going to do if, nested if, and lookups.